Yeah, Sean, the lake is really full, and just looking behind me, you can see how the water has started to come up here at the King Street docks. Reminder, the lake is just below flood stage at this point. It won't enter flood stage until Sunday morning. That's when the water will creep up over 100 feet, and that is that threshold. And there are some issues with that. Obviously, we have lowland flooding along the lake. The wind is going to pick up tonight, and I know you're going to talk more about those strong westerly winds. That is going to drive that water up onto the eastern shores of Lake Champlain. And another thing I want to talk about, especially for boaters that may be out there, you can't see that seawall that protects Lake Champlain, the Burlington Bay. So if you're a boater that's maybe not used to this area, there are some obstacles that are now hidden underwater that typically wouldn't be hidden underwater. So still there is plenty of rain to come tonight that all melts the snow up in the mountains, that once again helps to raise the levels here on Lake Champlain. Reporting live in Burlington, Torrance Gosher, back to you. Sean, we moved our live shot into our station vehicle because the storm was rolling on through. We are located at the King Street docks, and we were able to watch that shelf cloud move on through. And like you were saying, these storms are moving at highway speed, and honestly, it blew through here within the matter of 15 minutes. Now, what we are seeing a lot of cloud-to-cloud lightning. I'm not sure if you just caught that, Jess, but there are plenty of lightning strikes going on. There's a lot of cloud to cloud, but there has been occasionally cloud to ground. During this time, you should not be outside. There are people walking around the downtown area. When there is thunder, you want to head indoors because of the threat of potentially being struck by lightning. So while there is no rain or hail coming down here, we still have the lightning threat, which lightning is a huge killer. And if you are seeing some breaks in the clouds, you look off to our north, Jess, out towards that flag, you can see there is some brightening out there. There's still more storms to roll on through. And like you had said, Sean, we were primarily down here to talk about the flooding. As that storm was coming on through, the wind was pushing that water further and further up the dock. Where we parked, it was dry at first, and by the time that storm rolled on through, the water had at least come up about an inch around the car, and that's why we moved it to a safer location. So just remember, while that, we're not seeing strong wind or hail here, there is still a serious threat for lightning, and that's something to be taken seriously. So make sure to ride out these storms indoors tonight, and especially away from the windows. Live in Burlington, back to you guys in the studio. Hey, Sean, we are live right now on Route 7 in Shelburne. We're actually looking south. You can see some pretty gnarly clouds. It shows a lot of turbulence with the atmosphere. Every once in a while, some pretty good cloud to ground lightning, which is very dangerous. I'm sure, as you can see, we're looking south right now. We're just off of Route 7, just south of all the car dealerships. So we're looking south. The rain here is light, but it is the lightning that is just so vivid. It is vivid lightning. We're now starting to get some downpours, as I'm sure you could hear from our cameras. So folks that are down in Shelburne, in the village, are likely about to get hit with this cell that's moving right overhead. Lots of cloud to cloud in, cloud to ground lightning. The skies look very ominous as well, just kind of shows that turbulent nature of the atmosphere. Jess, if you look straight ahead, you can also see that rain shield that is coming on down. Watch out, there is some heavy ponding on roads. We are seeing that as we're driving down here. Visibility drops significantly with these storms. So if you're driving or know somebody that's driving, you're going to have to tell them to pull off to the side of the road at times, because the rain that is coming down in buckets. We'll bring you another update as needed, but right now we are live in Shelburne. Back to you.
A few moments ago, the storm was away from where he was sitting, but listen to the rain come down. There's frequent lightning in and around that area, and there's also likely some hail as well. Look at the lightning flashes, almost like a strobe light. But these storms are cruising at 50 to 60 miles an hour. Warning officially goes for Shelburne until 7:30, but there's another storm right behind that one, so it may get extended. I know areas of central and southern Vermont haven't gotten the storms yet, but we are still very early in our storm coverage. northwest New York from about the St. Lawrence Valley into Essex County, or Franklin County, New York.
You know, Sean, the only thing that I can hear are just chainsaws and generators. Fortunately, we just noticed with the home behind me, well, maybe not the best of news, the lights did just come back on. Jess is gonna pan over and you can see the window just above me blown out, and we're likely thinking it was because of this right here. Piece of the roof blown off of Lisa's house. Lisa lives in this home. She was in Colchester during the height of the storm, coming home to find no power. Parts of her roof peeled right on off. It's just incredible. Now, we were parked next to this house for a solid hour, Sean, and with that being said, it got dark here quickly. We weren't able to see the home until Lisa came over and told us. So folks that are maybe experiencing damage, please let us know, let the authorities know. Jess, we now want to pan over to this side. You can see that her trees in her backyard, about anywhere from 15 to almost 20, 25 feet up in the air, are split. They all fall in the same direction, indicating more or less straight line winds. Lisa was wondering if it was a tornado that hit her house, but just by looking at the tree damage, the way that everything has fallen, including a tree that was uprooted in her front yard, which we'll show you in just a little bit, all fall in the same way. While we were here, we saw hail pummeling on the ground, and we saw flash flooding on Falls Road that put a lot of debris on the road. It looks that they have traffic kind of back open. We're at the intersection of Boswick Road and Route 7, just to the north of Fiddlehead and Shelburne Vineyards. So coming up in the next half hour, we'll show you that tree that was uprooted in her front lawn. Live in Shelburne, Torrance Scotia, back to you guys. You know, Sean, like you said, we are here in Shelburne. We are just a few houses north of Shelburne Vineyard and Fiddlehead, so it goes to show you where we are. The intersection right behind me, I know we're not going to really be able to show you because how dark it is, but that's the intersection of Route 7 and Boswick Road. Behind me, this is a fairly large old tree, completely uprooted by the storm. We're still at that same house that had portions of its roof ripped off, and in between the time, Sean, I was able to find parts of her roof on the side of Route 7. People that are driving through here, or if you know anybody driving through here, need to slow down. There is debris in the road. If you drive too fast, you may end up with a flat tire. But just goes to show you, Jess, I'm not sure how far you could zoom in, but you can see how this tree was uprooted, the whole root ball and everything. It is laying on its side. Also, within my time being here, street signs on the side of the road bent over. Just goes to show you how powerful the winds were when they were whipping through the area. All is calm now. Actually, I was telling our photographer, Jessica, that you can see the stars already. Just shows you how this is cleared out. But the threat for down power lines is still a real threat. I've already had to call 911 twice tonight, one of them being there is a live power line interacting with a tree just across the street from us that's actually slowly burning, and it looks like they're starting to bring down some of the power again so they can fix these issues. But the sounds of chainsaws have slowly stopped for the night. Sounds like maybe many people will take the night to rest and then go at it tomorrow. Live in Shelburne, Torrance Scotia, back to you guys. Hey Sean, you know, we've moved around just a little bit. We are right next to the entrance to the Shelburne Museum, where I'm actually, standing in the middle of Route 7, a very busy thoroughfare that is completely closed down. It's been closed since we arrived here. That was shortly after 7 o'clock when the storm was blowing on through. Jess, I'm just gonna step aside just to show Green Mountain Power is here working to put up a new telephone pole right on the side of Shelburne Museum. Once again, we're standing just to the north of the entrance to the museum. The houses along the side of me do have power. That is some good news, but it looks like they're putting up an extra power line pole after a fairly large pine tree was crossing the road. They have since sliced that all up, cleared the road. They'll be working for probably at least another hour to two to clean things up. But like you have mentioned, Sean, before, the wind, just a little while ago, the wind was whipping through here, and that is definitely going to slow down that restoration time. Other things that we saw when we were here in Shelburne as the storm was rolling on through, we saw flash flooding, we saw hail accumulating on the side of the road. Many people that had gravel driveways were washing out and filling roads and covering them up. So there is still plenty of debris left in the roads, and as the wind continues to blow throughout the night, it is still going to continue to litter the roads. So please travel with caution. There was a piece of that house that we were at during our 10 o'clock broadcast on the side of the road, laying in the road. That's metal tin, and if you drive over that quickly, you're likely going to do damage to your car. Weather-wise, light to moderate wind here in Shelburne, but still warm enough that I don't have to wear a long sleeve. It is still plenty warm. For now, we're live in Shelburne. Back to you guys.